alive. We're alive!
What's up, stream?
Hello, everybody.
Okay, before we do get started though, I would like to share this in the Discord server. When did I become the frickin' Sith guy from the Star Wars trilogy? I don't know his frickin' name. He's the Emperor.
I don't know.
Nor do I care because I do not like Star Wars.
I barely even watch Star Wars, so I'm not into it really. But I like the fact that they use lightsabers that can slice you in half.
None of this
That's
is
pretty cool.
relevant. Hopefully I can see my chat through this. I'm pretty sure I will be able to. Oh, lordy, 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 lordy me. When did I become the frickin' Sith guy? Lordy, lordy, lordy me. Okay. Uh, did I seriously just leave the Discord?
There you are. Where'd she go?
I don't know.
Oh, where'd he go?
I don't know. One moment I was here, and the next thing you know, I am gone. Anyway, I think we should now get this episode underway.
Okie dokie.
So, hello, my co-highs. Hope you're doing well. I'm your host, Torvano Senpai, and welcome to another episode of Ancient Futures, the podcast where we talk about how dinosaurs and humans could coexist with each other. I'm joined today by Caitlin and Sharknado, who were here in the previous episode. Jurassic Master, I have no idea where he is, but he's playing Minecraft. I don't know if he forgot, but hey ho, we'll just continue on. Anyway, so last time we talked about how is it possible for humans and dinosaurs to coexist with each other? Now we're gonna bring this around and talk about a very common subject when it involves around animals, and that is domestication, as in pets. Like cats and
And
dogs and things
livestock.
like that. Well, not necessarily not livestock. I mean, we could go that far, but yeah. So today we're going to talk about what kind of dinosaurs would be good pets, what they could be used for, and which dinosaurs should not and will not be allowed to be kept as domestic, pets. Like which ones would be illegal to keep for safety reasons or for, endangered species and things like that. So, when we think of like our typical house pets, basically, we think
Cat
of
and
like the
dog.
common stuff like cats and dogs and hamsters and guinea pigs, fish, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
We gotta think of like smaller dinosaurs that are both maybe herbivores, omnivores, and maybe a little carnivores, depending on what they are.
yeah. Luckily for us, there's a wide range to choose from since the average dinosaur was about the size of a deer.
Yep. And like those little small ones that are the size of chickens, like those would be good pets because they smell.
Mm. But let's see. What are we talking
I
about?
think maybe Velociraptors could be pets because they're small and they
Compies.
could like eat. They can like let them outside and like they can kill the rats or maybe even zombies for you.
Well, yeah, raptors would be pretty good at like it depends on the raptor, right? Like
Yeah.
velociraptors, they're about the right size. They're about the size of a medium dog. They probably would be like a good substitute for a dog. It's just more
Maybe
bird-like than a mammal.
like a hunting dog.
You can't let them on your lap because of their claws and their sickle claw.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could like I think they'd be more functional as cats really if they're chasing mice and pests and things like that.
Yeah.
So they'd
And the
be
more
more
bigger
akin to
ones can be
cats.
used as like hunting dogs and stuff.
Yeah, so stuff like Deinonychus and things like that would be, excellent for like hunting, like because we have like hunting dogs. I can't name any on the top of my head, but we have dogs that will accompany people while they're hunting deer or
Yep.
moose or whatever. Having a raptor along or another small to medium sized carnivore would be pretty what's what am I looking for? Effective. I'm gonna say.
Mm.
But what about like dinosaurs that don't really have a use, like say another kind of dromaeosaur, the Microraptor, which is only less than a meter long. They're tiny
Oh,
little
like a cat.
creatures. They'd
Or
be.
like
I feel
a
like they'd be more like a lower like a parakeet.
like a bird. Be like a substitute for a bird.
Yeah, I mean I've seen Microraptors in prehistoric kingdom. They look more bird-like than anything else. They almost look
Yeah.
like they could be a bird if it wasn't for the long tail.
Yep.
Um, so I feel like that'd
To
be
be a
more akin
little
to like
bird.
parrots or lorikeets, things like that.
Yeah.
Basically, you would just keep them just for display, I guess. Because we actually have a good idea of what Microraptors' colors are like. It's kind of like a iridescent bluish black color.
Yeah.
There would be illegal dinosaurs.
We
Or you
will
could
get
get
to
a
that.
license.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so raptors would be a primarily good start for like carnivorous pets. There could also
Yep.
potentially be like compies. Like I'm not sure what use you get out of that other than just say I have a compy.
Yeah. It's
Um,
basically like a little chicken.
yeah, that's
You
all it
just
really
have a little.
is.
Yeah. That
Well,
could be a substitute for a chicken, depending on how fast they make eggs.
I doubt it's as any. I doubt it's quicker than an actual chicken's.
Yeah. But there might be a dinosaur that could like lay eggs like that, but we don't know, of course. But
Yeah, we'll never know really.
yeah.
Um,
But it'd probably be a good substitute, maybe.
maybe,
Maybe.
maybe. Yeah, compies would probably make good for like chickens or things like that, but we don't really know how many eggs they can lay in a day or in a week. We don't even know
Yeah.
if they can lay eggs within that amount of time. So that would be a hard guess, really.
Oh, I just thought of something. Okay, you know those like what were they called? They have like long necks, but they kind of look like a giant compy with a long neck, and they kind of look about the size of an ostrich. If those had eggs, we could like be
You
have those like
mean
kind of like
like
we have ostrich
You mean
eggs.
Gallimimus?
Yeah.
Those things are huge. They're like 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
Those wouldn't really be. I guess. Well, you can eat an ostrich egg.
Yep.
I mean, I guess you could have those like you would an ostrich farm. Really,
Yeah.
what are ostrich farms used for anyway? I never really understood that.
Mainly just for ostrich eggs, because they're like technically kind of like a delicacy, kind of like quail eggs. They're more expensive than regular chicken eggs or duck eggs, but they taste different and they're used in certain recipes. That's why they're so expensive.
Yeah. Okay, ostriches are loving birds. They are quite easy to raise. They require little maintenance from farmers. One of the reasons why ostrich farming is a ludicrous business is the number of valuables an ostrich has to offer, and very little goes to waste.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know if you could eat an ostrich though.
No, I don't think you could either. I think you just really eat the egg.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen like ostrich eggs for sale in a zoo, and I'm like, that's messed up. You basically just gave away an ostrich's eggs.
Yeah.
Isn't your whole job to conserve animal wildlife?
Well, technically, ostriches are more. They're like they can breed really easily, but they're. It's like less than a chicken, of course, but their rate of reproductions like every year. So, and they can have like up to 6 eggs. So the reproduction is pretty fast.
Sweet.
And as long as you don't kill the main adults and stuff and have like a little have where they have some offspring that do live, you can still keep it up and going for a long amount of time.
Right, yeah. But anyway, going back, there are also a bunch of tiny herbivorous dinosaurs that people can have. Like, say,
Yeah.
Microceratus, the small ceratopsian, which is now confirmed to be in Jurassic World Dominion. Spoilers!
Yeah, I was looking at a picture of one of those. That would be cute for like a little tiny Chihuahua dog.
Chihuahua dog.
Like, because it's tiny.
yeah.
Have it like similar to like that.
Yeah, so, something along those lines. Also, my video just uploaded. Yay! I'll share that one later. It's already gotten 3 views. Shit. Anyway, going back on time, there's also this other one that was just brought up in like a prehistoric planet. I'm not sure if you guys saw that new trailer, but there's this tiny, absolutely tiny, ornithopod. It looks like a mini iguanodon. I'm gonna see if I can try to look up the name. It was like something. Zalmoxis. That's the one. Zalmoxis.
Moxus.
It is a ornithopod that was named that was found in 1899. Sorry, I'm like pausing. I'm starting to get this pain in my chest. Oh boy. They're about 2.5 feet.
Oh,
They're 2.5 feet long as. Wait, hold on. What?
kind of reminds me of a turkey.
They're 8.2 feet long as subadults. And adults are about 9 feet, so they're actually pretty decently sized. So the ones that we see in the trailer are probably juveniles. Have you actually seen them in the trailer, the Zalmoxis?
So I don't remember seeing it in the trailer, but it looks like a turkey because it has like a reddish flap around its neck, and that's kind of like what turkeys have. But of course, this thing is huge.
Hold on one second. I
I
am
just
putting it in the general chat.
nope. I don't think I found the right picture. I probably didn't.
All right,
Let's see.
Where are you? There it is. Here goes. There it is.
Oh, okay.
And apparently these are juveniles, perhaps.
They look so itty bitty though.
Yeah, they're probably juveniles. You know what? For a dinosaur that's supposed to be 8 feet long, that does make sense now.
Yeah.
So
he's so cute.
You could definitely get one of these, like when they first hatch from an egg, because these are mini iguanodons. Basically, they're tiny.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be outside the realm of possibility of raising one of these things. But let me try to think smaller than that. Shoot.
There's also small mammals we can think of that live that kind of look like hamsters and rabbits and stuff. We could have those as like small game.
Don't forget that there's also prehistoric mammals like bigger rats and maybe even prehistoric monkeys. So we could have those as pets too, like a giant hamster rat.
I'd be concerned about a giant hamster, and I don't know why, but creatures like Didelphodon and Alphodon came into my mind, and I don't think either of those two would make good pets. I think they would just be too vicious. Like, they're small, but they look mean.
Maybe.
It's kind of like a possum, really.
Yeah.
I like a possum.
But also, you get people do have possums and raccoons as pets.
Yeah, but how often?
But they had them when they had them at a young age. I think it's just if they're used to humans, maybe they'll be okay. But if they're like completely wild, it wouldn't be okay.
Yeah, I've seen videos of wild possums getting caught in traps, and they will look at a person, mouth agape, like as if you touch me, I'm gonna freaking bite you.
Yeah.
Luckily, possums don't carry disease, so there's no risk of getting like something like rabies or whatever.
Yeah.
But still, it's gonna hurt. Like those things have
Yeah.
really sharp teeth.
Well, I know.
They'll probably cut the tip of your finger off.
Yeah, so I think
I've been bit
like
by a little hamster
prehistoric.
before. It hurts.
So I think Didelphodon and Alphalodon, it would be like a case of a possum. You wouldn't want it, but for those of you that do, it's available, I guess.
Have a giant, big, fluffy rat.
Yeah. There was also like prehistoric flying squirrel-looking
It'd
creatures.
probably be like the size of a rabbit, because rabbits can get really big, depending on the
Didelphodons are pretty
species.
big as well. Like I've seen giant ass rabbits, like just giant rabbits as big as a
Hmm.
toddler.
I've also seen giant cats too. Oh my gosh!
Heaven forbid,
And not to mention we have Great Danes. Those
heaven
things are
forbid
huge.
someone tries to raise a frickin' Smilodon.
How would your regular cat, dog, bird get along with your new dinosaur pet? Would you not be able to have your regular pet, or
It just depends how they get along, just like regular animals.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean,
Yeah.
this is actually something I've
It's
seen. This is something I've actually seen like on Instagram. There's this woman. I don't know her name, but her account is Tango the Dwarf Cayman, and it is a woman that has a baby cayman named Turbo. Her last cayman, Tango, unfortunately passed away a couple like I think a year ago. So she
Aw.
got a new baby one, and she also has a parrot with it, and they get along perfectly. Like a little cayman
Yeah.
and a parrot, totally fine. That cayman could easily swallow it whole when it's fully grown,
Hmm.
but they're totally chill around each other.
Probably because
My
they
cat-
started at a young age together, or just one was
Well, no,
it.
the
The adult accepts
Yeah.
the baby, and then they get along as they grow up.
the thing is that this parrot has actually been around caimans before. It was around when when Tango was alive. So I guess it's
Yeah.
used
So
to
it's
being
used to 'em.
around caimans, and that's why it's not so
Yep.
bothered by it.
My cats, I have 4 cats, and they all get along with my bunny rabbit. But in the wild, they'll probably kill the bunny rabbit. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they're not
Cats-
using their instinct.
cats for whatever
Which is a good
reason
thing.
are just efficient killers. They hunt. They're a hunting animal. They'll track down mice, birds, rats, moles, anything
Yep.
with fur, feathers,
Yeah.
and is
My
small.
cat-
They'll try to hunt them down.
I've
my
found
cat
so
brought
many
a-
moles
My
Like-
that were
cat
left
brought
outside.
a mouse into the.
Yeah, like
My cat.
like cats can be declawed, and they'll still find a way to catch their prey.
Yep. My cat constantly finds moles and mice when she goes outside, and she's declawed in the front claws, but they can still use her back claws. It's just that way you don't quite as get hurt, but they'll use them if they need to.
My cat brought a mouse into the house.
I found one in my cat's litter box one time, and I was like, ew.
Did you shit it out?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, did this come out of your butt?
I don't want to even think about that.
I was like, cat, what the heck were you thinking? I didn't want the surprise in your litter box.
No.
I have a hard enough time cleaning your litter box because it stinks.
Yeah.
Cats are a lot easier to take care of though than dogs because they're less well. The cats are more independent, while dogs need you a little bit more because you gotta always take them to the restroom and stuff. Or if you don't have like a doggy door or something,
Yeah.
or a big yard where they can go in.
Yeah.
That's why I like cats. They're so much easier.
Well, I'm allergic to cats. If I'm around them, my skin actually irritates.
There's
Especially if the hair gets in my eyes, it makes my eyes swell and turn red.
There is a cat breed that does have hair, but is a natural. It's like fur is a natural,
It's
non-allergenic,
It's hypoallergenic.
and it that would be a good cat if you ever think about out having because it's you don't get allergies with that cat.
I'm more into lizards than I am dogs and cats.
Lizards.
I live with a dog. He's not mine. He's my folks. I do not see him as my dog. I don't think I'll ever see him as my dog. But lizards have always been my thing. I love bearded dragons, iguanas,
They're so
skinks.
cute.
I want to get a blue tongue skink.
Ooh,
I think they're
that sounds
adorable.
cool.
I always catch lizards and study them.
Yeah.
And didn't we have like those what are they called? Those lizards in Florida that are big and green. What are they called?
Iguanas.
Green
Yeah,
and all
don't we?
lizards.
Didn't we have like an ancient version of those, but it was bigger in the dinosaur era?
I don't know. What
Do
you're
you
talking
mean
about.
Megalania in Australia, or like there's a bigger lizard?
I'm talking about Florida lizards.
I don't think so. I mean, the only big prehistoric lizard I know of is well, formerly known as Megalania, but now known as Varanus priscus. But I've never heard of a giant iguana.
Hmm.
I've heard of giant snakes like the Titanoboa. Heaven forbid anyone tries to raise one of those. Jesus Christ, man, you'd be dead in an instant. So I think we touched upon like dinosaurs that we would keep as like house pets. So like raptors would be kind of akin to
Yeah.
like dogs or cats and things like that. Smaller herbivores like Macroceratus or Zamoxis might be pretty good contenders. What
Yep.
about animals that could be used as, working animals, livestock, like horses and sheep and things like that? I honestly think that ornithopods like
Well,
Iguanodon, like Tenontosaurus, could be good like substitutes for horses and
yeah.
donkeys because they are very strong animals.
And if we think about some that are like the size of elephants, you could use those for like moving lots of lumber or
Plowing
stuff like
fields.
that. Like, yeah.
Like if you use a dinosaur right, you could like really take care of your land.
Yep.
It'd probably be expensive
Uh,
though, because these things need to eat. They need housing. They need like
yeah.
warmth. They need shelter. They need water. They need all these things to survive. You need to take care of them. Like I'm pretty sure it'd be
If
more.
we
I think it'd be even cheaper to take care of a cow than it would be something like a Tenontosaurus or an iguanodon or things like that.
Well, if we have where, like, say, over time, everything becomes like a smaller size after so many thousands of years, and they're like dumbed down versions, like sharks and everything, like how they used to be the size of megalodon, and now they're like itty bitty.
Yeah.
If that same thing happens with land animals or land dinosaurs, like if we get like a dinosaur that's equivalent to the size of a cow and like the size of a horse and sheep and etc. like that,
Well, it's not just
then we
like
could possibly feed those the exact same way
it's
we
not
would
just a
cows and
matter
horses.
of size. It's also their metabolism, what
Yeah,
they eat, how much of it do they really need to eat. Like it's different for every animal. I'm assuming.
yeah. We also
So
gotta change the feed that we feed them too,
yeah,
depending on what
because
their
they
diet
can't. I
is.
mean, we can't just feed them hay. They
Yeah,
need other things to eat. Like grass wasn't around when dinosaurs first evolved. Instead, the ground was littered with like cycads and ferns and things like that. There was no grass, so feeding them hay or grass would just be completely out of the question.
yeah. We would
So
have to feed them like their
you'd have to feed
consistent
them,
diet of what they eat in the wild,
and
but
you'd have to
maybe
feed
like
them
grind it up.
things that were like around during their time.
Which actually, if we're talking about if we like since they are living in this time period that we are in, depending on what they eat now is what we feed them.
Yeah, I mean,
Which they
How much
could
would all
evolve to
these
eat
dinosaurs
grass. We don't know.
cost?
I'm sorry. What'd you say, Shark?
How much would all these domestic dinosaurs cost? Way
Oh,
more
I
than
don't
like
want to
cattle
even
or
think
cows.
about it. Like a cow is already expensive enough. I can't even imagine the price of again, like an ornithopod, like iguanodon. Like those things are big. They're 30 feet long, and they are
Yeah.
massive dinosaurs. Huge.
Like an elephant's worth like quite a bit of money. I think it's like over $100,000
Yeah. So imagine an
for just
iguanodon,
one elephant.
which is probably about as big as an elephant in weight. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's heavier than a cow.
Yep.
So you're gonna have to really feed that thing quite a lot in order to keep it alive and make sure it has the energy to
Yeah.
work.
There
I
would
think
also be other genuses like cats. There's a whole bunch of other cats, like, but well, different kinds of cats.
Yeah.
How would it work for dinosaurs? Like a Microceratus, and then another one with a different skin but has different traits. Like maybe it's cuter, maybe
Yeah.
it's nicer.
So
It
basically,
just like forms
so
multi-species.
basically, designer dinosaurs, like
Yeah,
how we bred certain species of wolves into different species of dog.
exactly.
I guess it all boils down to genetics, really, and breeding.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you want your dinosaurs to look a certain way, you'd have to breed them to have certain traits. That's what
Same
works
thing
with
with like meat and stuff
like
too.
that's what happens with animal breeders today. Like, they look for certain traits they want, and then they breed them. I see
Yep.
it with pigs. I see it with cats. I see it with dogs. It's basically
Owls.
any pet. Wait, what? Owls.
Yeah.
They do
You
that for
could breed
owls.
them to produce so much milk or so much meat or the texture and taste of the meat and the milk.
Oh, cows. I thought you said owls, like the bird.
No.
I was so confused there. Like,
Owls giving
owls?
milk.
Yeah, I was so confused. Like, wait, what? Milk? Meat?
When you said milk, I was like, owls produce milk?
I know pigeons produce milk, like, technically speaking, but I didn't know owls could do it. Yeah, but anyway. So really, if you
Yeah.
want like different colors on a dinosaur, different like traits, it really does boil down to breeding and genetics and things like that. The technical things.
Yep.
There was one scientist, I forgot who it was. He made bioluminescent cats, and they glowed bright green in the dark.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Hey, you never
It
lose your
was
cat.
so freaky.
Just replace the cat with a parasaur. Easy.
Yeah, basically. I have no idea how he did that, but that's kind of crazy to think. Um, I mean, hey, maybe we could have like a crazy scientist actually make real bioluminescent dinosaurs. I don't know why you would want that, but ayo, whatever.
Cool.
They would be easier for predators to see, and when you go to sleep, you'll just see them, and you
Yeah,
won't
like
be able to
what would
go
be
to
the
sleep.
use of being bioluminescent if there are predators like around? Like, they'd see you
Maybe,
from a mile away.
for maybe for like dinosaur shows, like fashion shows, but for dinosaur pets.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe,
Um,
but
remember the
where?
trailer of for Dominion, Jurassic World Dominion,
What about it?
and they showed the horses running with duck-billed
Yeah, the
dinosaurs.
Parasaurolophus.
We could use those for horses.
But would they act under the same intelligence? That's the thing. I mean, we could look at a Parasaurolophus
Maybe.
and think, yeah, we could ride that. But the question is, how effective would it be, and how well could they follow direction?
Maybe we could have like where we have like horses where like a harness goes to their mouth and we train them just kind of like horses a little bit to make them,
The
and over time they'll learn to do it.
pterosaurs run on their two hind feet. Horses run on all four, so you would be tilted back, and there's a risk of you falling
Yeah,
off.
you'd have to make an entirely different saddle. Also,
Yeah.
Slavemation says, "Congrats on 1K, man. Thank you." Gaming Ram, you have 1K sub. Thank you. Basically, they're all telling me that I have 1,000 subscribers. Yes, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on the way like the way well, I do see one that's like kneeling down on its feet while walking on all fours.
Well, yeah,
They
because
could
that's
either
how
walk on two
Parasaurolophus
legs or
walk.
four legs.
They're primarily quadrupeds, but when they have to run, they rear up on their hind limbs.
Yeah. You could make like a saddle that like moves depending on the height. Well, the
Like,
way the
have it
angle,
gyrate
the
or whatever, or like,
yeah, and that would also make it easier for when they like jump or bend down. You can easily move in the saddle so you don't fall out.
yeah,
Because I know with a horse, if it jumps, you want to kind of lean backwards, and well, depending on whether it's going forward or backward, you have to lean in the saddle so it doesn't hurt the horse, and so it's easier for you to stay in the saddle.
yeah. But the Pachycephalosaurus, when it rears up, its body is already kind of tilted a little bit. So how
Yeah.
far back would you have to lean?
Not that far. You would just kind of have to maybe lean a little bit forward, so because you want your body to be aligned
Yeah.
to try to stay as straight as possible with the angle that the animal's going. So if it's raising up, you want to stay straight. Try to stay straight in the saddle so it doesn't angle you to fall out or doesn't mess up the animal's balance.
Yeah.
We're talking a lot about saddles.
Well,
I used to
yeah.
have a horse, so I'm kind of into this stuff.
You know what would make for a great guard dog or whatever? A
What?
Pachycephalosaurus.
A Utah raptor. Oh,
Ooh.
yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, of course. That's what you meant to say.
Here comes
No,
a
like dead
packy
serious. I
ramming you
think
in the head.
Pachycephalosaurus would be like a great, like it basically be the equivalent of
Yeah.
a bighorn sheep, really.
And see, you
I
got different
think-
sizes with those.
I think instead of Packy, we could either have Dracorex or Stiggy,
Okay,
the younger
there's a
versions,
problem
but
with
they're
that.
just genetically modified to just stay younger, like dwarf cats. So
So
it doesn't really
basically-
kill what it hits.
So basically, they're like the Peter Pan of the Pachycephalosaurs. They can't grow up. I don't know about that. Maybe we could make miniature Pachycephalosaurus, just keep the same species but shrink it. But
Yeah.
Pachycephalosaurus
Kinda like how we have
as a
miniature
whole
horses.
might be like it's when they're fully grown, they're already about the size of a man. They're about close to 5 feet tall. But shrinking them down any smaller is not going to make them any more difficult to, manage. A single headbutt, like even if it's a small one, can can pretty much destroy your insides. And if it hits you like in between the legs, especially if you're a dude, you're gonna have what we gentlemen call testicular trauma. What's this? Maybe iguanodon would be a good saddle animal. Maybe.
Yep.
But iguanodon is also another one of those creatures where it walks on all fours but runs on 2 legs.
Yeah. It'd be kind of like the same concept as the duckbill.
Yeah. A good saddle animal dinosaur though. What would that be? That's the question. I mean, Tyrannosaurus maybe, because we see it in the aisle running on all fours, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's accurate though. But I'm assuming maybe.
If it's kind of like an elephant, elephants you really don't have to wear saddles for. You just have to control them by the back of their ears.
Yeah, but dinosaurs don't really have giant ears.
Nah. But maybe they have like certain points on them that we could use to like tap and then, to go that direction.
Like under the arm or on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Like if
or we could have a saddle.
Behind the ear, it tells it to turn.
Yeah.
I think that's basically with like any saddle animal. Like if you want it to turn a certain way, you just tap it in the way you want to go.
I kind of envision like the way we would use dinosaurs is kind of like in Dinotopia, a little bit.
Yeah.
How they always have saddles and harnesses. Well, not that concept, but I meant like where they use them kind of like for transportation, carrying things around, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, saddle animals, we could definitely talk about them more because one of the other topics I do want to cover is transportation. But as far as like domesticating dinosaurs, saddle animals would definitely be one of the things that would, equate to domestication.
Yep.
We just got to figure out which one is actually good to ride on.
Because we got to think of speed. We got to think of the ability, the size.
Yeah. So, like, larger dinosaurs, like, giant ornithopods, would be great for, like, livestock, as horses and donkeys and things like that.
Yeah.
Maybe they could also be raised as cattle, for meat.
Yep.
Like,
or if they're similar to horses and can like run kind of fast, we could also use those as small transportation animals too.
Yeah, that too.
Imagine riding like a pterodactyl. Hee, that'd be quite cool.
Pterodactyl is actually a very tiny pterosaur.
Yeah, but I bet like one of the big giant ones.
Something like a Quetzalcoatlus.
Yeah. If we could figure out how to ride those.
I feel
That'd be
like
kind
it
of
would be
cool.
too heavy for them to lift off the ground because Quetzalcoatlus, despite being as big as a giraffe, is surprisingly very light to the point where I think if a person were to ride on it, it would not be able to take off, or
Yeah.
even if it were to fly, it wouldn't be able to do it very well.
Well, how much does their prey weigh? Like, whether they get like a, depending on the size of their prey and how they
Well,
transport
they
it,
can easily
that could be about the size of
they
us,
can easily
depending on what our
swallow.
weight is.
I'm imagining they could easily swallow a creature as big as a man, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they can carry one like in the air.
Yeah. Well, it might be different on their back rather than in their mouth. Like, because if you like lay yourself out to even out with its body, they could possibly carry you.
Yeah, maybe.
And it also depends on your weight. If like
I
you're
can
say
imagine.
100-something pounds, that could work. But if you're over that, you might.
I can
I don't think that would work.
I can almost imagine like a, what was it, like a, I don't know what it is, like the terrace, the Quetzalcoatlus is on top, you're strapped onto its belly, and you're kind of like doing this flying suit thing with your arms and legs spread out on the Quetzalcoatlus's chest, and you're just
It might
strapped
work
onto
kind of
it.
like a little bat. Kind of like
What about amusement parks and the petting zoos? Petting zoos
Okay,
there.
that's
like
actually,
zoos.
Have
that's actually
like a
separate
baby
topic
of
that
a
I wanna cover.
Pachycephalosaurus.
That's a separate topic that I want to cover, which is basically
I,
attractions
I,
and things like that.
I thought that would be a separate topic, but that's why I said petting zoos because it's kind of related to what we're talking about.
Well, petting
Like,
zoos would
yeah.
probably be exclusive to, like you said, baby dinosaurs or very small ones.
Yeah. Or we could have larger ones like we do elephants and stuff. Just we
Where
got to
has
make an
there ever been a
enclosure,
petting zoo with an elephant?
a zoo.
I've
A
never
zoo
seen
is a
zoo.
giant petting zoo.
I have never seen a zoo that allowed you to touch or feed an elephant.
I did, but it was a baby. Like
Wow.
you could do babies, but I meant like full adults. You would have it as actual zoo and maybe have like a little section with babies in it. But I kind of feel uncomfortable letting people touch a baby because the
Yeah.
parents might get angry and destroy things.
Well, yeah.
Maybe it's like smaller animals, of course.
Yeah.
Omni will be very angry.
Kind of like in the first Jurassic World, I see those little tiny baby dinosaurs not with their parents. Ooh, nice.
Thank you. You are officially the 1001st subscriber on the channel. 1001. What the
Once is very good grammar.
hell?
But yeah, if like in Jurassic World, the first one they had where they had baby dinosaurs
So,
in
like,
a little petting zoo and they
the
could
kids
ride them.
riding the
I would always feel
Triceratops,
uncomfortable doing that.
That one kid hugging the baby Apatosaurus by the neck.
Yeah, it's like that could
That's my
hurt it.
favorite shot.
It's
right
just
there.
a
That's why I
baby.
was thinking.
I'm like, kid, let that thing go. You're choking it to death.
It's like this. It's basically equivalent to like the age of that would be like a toddler, like a little itty bitty like 1-year-old, and you're hugging it like you're gonna tear its neck apart.
Like you're gonna
It's
pop
like
its head off.
that
It's
should
not
be
a
with
toy.
its parent.
It's a living animal.
Exactly. It's like in real life, I would not think they would have something like that.
Well,
They
you
would
never
not
know.
allow
Maybe
the
if
babies
people
to be
are-
away from their parents that young.
Or maybe like they do like keep the babies away, but only for a little while, and even then they are not too
Yeah.
far away from the parents, so they know that they are
Yeah.
around and that they are safe.
For like when like in China they take care of pandas. If the panda has twins, it'll only take care of one, so they have to like split them up. But they alternate the cub. So the mother always thinks it has one cub, but in reality it has two.
Oh.
That's how they do the success rate of the breeding in that. But they don't keep it that long. They like alternate every like 2 hours and several times a day.
Huh.
Just to make sure it has one-on-one time with the mom, and also it's getting the nutrition from the milk, but also staying warm and healthy. While the other sibling is in like an incubator, also getting help and stuff, and they just alternate.
This is just reminding me of that one video with the baby panda sneezing. Have y'all seen that?
Yeah.
The Choo! I think it's funny.
Yep.
Like, that was a video back in the day when YouTube was just starting.
Mm-hmm. I remember that video.
I also remember the baby farting powder thing. But anyway, that's off topic. That's off topic.
Yeah.
So yeah, petting zoos. But now I think we have to come to the time where we talk about dinosaurs that shouldn't be pets and dinosaurs that should be illegally not that
Hmm.
shouldn't be that should
Well,
be illegal to own.
I think if we had T-Rexes, they would be like a dumber down version. Like all the carnivores would be smaller due to generations and stuff, evolution. They would all be smaller,
I think
but
any dinosaur that is a
they'd be considered
tyrannosaur,
wild
a
ones.
carnosaur, an albelosaur, a spinosaur, any of the big carnivores should immediately be seen as illegal because they grow
Yeah.
big and they are not safe to be around.
It's like comparing having a house cat to a giant lion.
Yeah.
It's like a lion's illegal. A house cat's okay. A lion's illegal.
For like Utah raptors and Pachycephalosaurus and maybe even carnivores, so definitely have to have a license.
Yeah.
For the Utah and Pachy, you'll probably have to have a license, but maybe
Utah
carno
raptor
would be illegal.
I feel like Utah raptor would be illegal just
Yeah.
because of the like what's the
Size.
like no like what's the word?
Sickle cloth.
No. It's not a trait. It's the
Instinct.
consequences of having them around.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, Utah raptor, and I've said this countless times, and I'm going to say it again, are considered to be the most dangerous dinosaurs that have ever lived. They're bulky.
Yep. Very intelligent too.
They're about as smart as modern day birds of prey. They have sharp teeth and claws. That's not a house pet. That's a wild animal.
No.
That should never be in anyone's house.
There would be handlers like Steve Irwin. He handled alligators, which was illegal to have alligator. Well, not illegal, but you could get a license. But there would be handlers you know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah,
like they can get on shows.
That's a gator. It's slow and it can't really run that fast on land.
Yeah.
You get a raptor as big.
It's like
as
having a
human.
cheetah.
You're asking for trouble. Utah would be illegal 100%. Thank you, Slaymations. Yeah, I think Utah raptor, Attila Bader, and Dakota raptor, those three altogether, would be illegal because they're way too big and way too unpredictable.
Basically equivalent to having like a cheetah.
I think.
Well, you can raise a cheetah, but it's still dangerous.
License, really.
Yeah.
It all boils down to a license, and that makes me ask this next question: what dinosaurs would actually be eligible for like having a license? Like, we need to think about like size as a contributing factor. We need to think about ferocity, and like all that sort of thing. I feel like Utah raptor would be illegal. Monolophosaurus and Dilophosaurus would actually be legal as long as you had a license.
Yeah. Technically, you can have license.
Dilo was taller than us, but at least it didn't spit venom or have a throw. Yeah. But if it did have a throw, they could genetically, intentionally do that to like. It could stand by your door and guard your door like a.
I feel like just
body dinosaur guard
in your house. Period would be scary enough. They're almost as tall as a human. I don't think they hoop.
Taller than a human.
If they did, that'd be scary. Just hear the. I can't do the sound.
That'd be creepy at night. You try to sleep and that thing just wailing.
You hear that hooting noise in the dark, and you're like, "Fuck you."
Imagine like having dinosaurs that make noises in the morning like birds do, but it's louder, and you're trying to sleep with the window open. It's like you're just yelling out the window, "Shut up! I'm trying to sleep."
Well, I don't think dinosaurs could really get that loud, so I don't think that'd be a problem. Unless
Yeah.
you have a
Dinosaurs couldn't roar,
Parasaurologist.
so we don't have to worry about that.
Unless it was a Parasaurologist. I think those could be pretty loud because of their head crest.
And the carnivores couldn't roar, so that wouldn't be too much of a problem.
Yeah. Cryolophosaurus, I also feel like would not be an illegal choice. You would just have to have a license for that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a too terribly big of a carnivore, but it should still be something that should be, treated with caution.
Yep.
Let's see. Another. We
Also,
already talked about carnivores being illegal. What about herbivores or omnivores?
I
That would
think
be
like a
illegal?
Triceratops would be
Oviraptor,
illegal
maybe
because of
maybe you
the
could get a license
horns.
for Oviraptor or
Oviraptor
Chinia.
would probably be legal. I think that would be a dinosaur you could keep. It would be
I think
very
a Triceratops would be illegal because it'd be equivalent to a rhino.
Yeah.
You could for Oviraptor you could keep the eggs, but it'll probably attack you because they were really protective of their eggs apparently,
Yeah.
and they didn't steal them, so you couldn't really get the eggs from it.
No,
No, I guess not.
it would die before it let you have those eggs.
Gigantoraptor would be illegal though. That thing's just way too big. It's basically a giant oviraptor.
Yep.
Any of the therizinosaurs like Nothronychus and Therizinosaurus would be illegal. Again, because they're big, and plus they have, although they're herbivores, they have long, sharp claws. I mean, Therizinosaurus alone has 3-foot long claws on each hand. So that alone should say illegal, illegal, illegal. Like right then and there.
That thing way too dangerous.
Pachycephalosaurus, though, which is another therizinosaur, I think that would possibly be legal with a license. Because it is a smaller therizinosaur.
Yeah.
Protoceratops is a ceratopsian. I think that would be considered legal. Because it's a small animal. It's about the size of a sheep, really. So I think you could keep that. I don't know why you'd want one, but I mean, heck, you might not even need a license for it. You could probably raise it like livestock.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
What's the next topic going to be about for the next podcast? Because I'm thinking the next topic should be poachers.
You mean like
and hunting? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hunting and poachers, like illegal hunting, or maybe bounty hunters. Like you have to go set out to kill the carnivores in the area.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We'll definitely cover that. But Dinokairos, illegal.
Furry dinosaur, good pet. You can just pet it.
Yeah, except it's got long claws, long arms, and it would be a very hard animal to maintain in the first place because it's an herbivore, but it was also, I think, specialized in eating fish. So it was kind of like a herbivore piscivore sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where would you get that much fish to feed that thing?
Just let it just hang out in the pond, and with those long claws, just kill all the crocodiles in the area. So that would be a problem solved.
Yeah, but I feel like that'd be more of a problem than anything else because you're just killing off the ecosystem's predators.
But I know new predator is Dinokairos.
Like when you have like bears and stuff in a zoo, they gotta feed them like so much meat, and they normally feed them fish. You would just probably have to buy it'd probably be equivalent to buying fish for a bear. So maybe
except the bear
that way
is a giant duck, humpbacked thing.
Yeah, we would probably have it in a zoo and not have it as a pet.
Yeah, definitely in the zoo, 100%. That thing is huge. I think it's also considered an ornithomimid, and if that's the case, it is the biggest one of all.
Yeah.
Also the most bizarre. It doesn't look like an ostrich. It looks like a duck. It's also going to be in Prehistoric Planet.
Mm-hmm.
I think this would be the first time. Like, no, this is the second time Dinokairos has been in a documentary. But either way, I digress. So basically the consensus is, yeah, certain dinosaurs are illegal based on like size and ferocity, and certain animals can be kept as long as they have a license for it.
Yep.
I think we've really reached a. I don't know what to say. Like, I think we reached a conclusion, really, unless you guys have something else to throw out.
I think it always just depends on the size of the animal, whether it's a herbivore,
Or
omnivore,
carnivore.
or carnivore, whether we could have it or not. I say if it's small enough, if it's a carnivore, then we could have it if it's small. But if it gets to like the bigger than a dog, I don't think so.
Nope. Unless it's a farm-esque animal sort of thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, this podcast episode was only 50 minutes long, but I think we covered quite a lot, and I think we talked about quite enough of it. So,
Yeah.
I think this is where I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight.
Okie dokie.
All right, so this has been Ancient Futures, you guys. Let us know in the comments what you guys think of all this. What dinosaurs do you think would be domesticated? Which ones do you think would be illegal? All that sort of thing. And of course, leave a like, subscribe today, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything new. Link to the Discord in the description down below. And until next time, this is Tyranno Senpai and the Ancient Futures podcast team signing off. Alrighty then.
Bye.
Take care now.
He
Bye
will.
then.